Let's go ahead and grade the Chicago Bulls free agency. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. So if you're a Bulls fan, hit that big subscribe button down below, people are. So let's talk about this, all right? Let's talk about the Bulls free agency and give it a grade, all right? Now, I know free agency isn't over. We know that. But let me just tell you that it is very unlikely that the Bulls make a major splash here. And so that's why I'm comfortable just talking about kind of free agency and giving it a grade at this point, because I'm not expecting anything monumental. I'm not expecting anything major, all right? So the Bulls made three moves, basically. They re-signed Nikola Vucevic, they re-signed Kobe White, and they went ahead and signed Javon Carter in free agency. All right, so based off of those three moves, let's go ahead and break each of them down. And I did a separate video breaking it down individually, but just kind of summarizing here. Vooch, we signed him to a 3-year deal worth approximately $60 million. I thought that was good value for Vooch. Now, remember, we had his bird rights, but just because of the fact that, you know, Bulls fans think we could have let him go, we would have gotten salary cap relief. No, we wouldn't. That money would not have been available for us to use, and at that point, you wouldn't be able to go ahead and replace Vooch. So for what we needed and for what we could have lost him for, which was nothing, I thought that was a solid move. And take into the fact that we got him on a little bit of a discount, folks. I had seen reports that, Vooch could be commanding 3 years, $75 million, and we signed him for 3 and 60. All right, so I got to give the Bulls credit there. We all knew they were running it back, so Vooch still a top 10 center in this league, and we got him on a reasonable deal. So I'm going to go ahead and say that was a solid move for the Bulls. Let's move on to the Kobe White deal. Another move in terms of the financial ramifications for it. I thought it was solid. 3 years, $33 million, going all the way up to 40, I believe, with incentives. We're looking at somewhere between $11 to $13 million for Kobe White, which is what I thought the market value was and the going rate was. And that is a solid value right there for Kobe White, who's still very young and can improve. And he gives you something that this team needs, which is shooting and also being at the guard position. And so with Kobe White, when you've signed him for, again, $11 to $13 million, somewhere around there, and you got guys like Dillon Brooks getting paid $20 million a year, that makes me feel really good about this signing, because I thought we got value on Kobe. And by the time the deal ends, we're still getting Kobe in his obviously young and prime years. All right, and finally, we went ahead and we signed Javon Carter in free agency. And this was a pretty solid deal. We got him at an average about $6 million a year, around there. And look, Javon Carter to me is a guy who fills a lot of holes for what we were looking for. So again, a point guard, a facilitator in a sense. I know he's not fantastic at it, but he's still a decent one. More importantly, elite three-point shooter, shot about 43% from three last year. That is perfect, monumental for what we need. One of the things that we had with Lonzo was he was an elite, or he became an elite three-point shooter. Javon Carter can provide that for us. And the other end, all right, tenacious defender. He is definitely going to help us on that end. So you add him with Caruso. I mean, that's a pretty good backcourt tandem in terms of playing defense. So Javon Carter, to me, underrated signing. Again, we still got him on a little bit of a discount, if you will, and you do like that, all right? So I still think the Bulls have holes, obviously. I wish we got some more size up in here. We could still use a wing. We could still use more shooting. But for the most part, I thought, based off of what the Bulls had and what the Bulls did, it was a pretty solid grade that I give them, which is a B. All right, a B is really what I do for the Bulls, because look, we all know they were running our back, but they got good value on the contracts, and they were able to fill in some key holes. Now, they didn't fill everything in. That's why I can't give it an A. But I thought for what they were working with and what the salary cap situation was going to be like, it was a B. And we all know the Bulls probably won't pay the luxury tax. That's why I'm saying this is not going to be an A, because of the fact that you know that if you want this team to go ahead and get better, you would have had to go into the tax. And so we're still, I think, $9 million away. And we could still make moves, but it's very limited. That's the reason I know that they're not going to make anything monumental, because you're talking about $9 million away from the luxury tax. And if you're not paying that, that means, look, Ayo DeSumo, we extended a qualifying offer for him. I think it's about $5 million. That leaves you with like $4 million left before you're at the luxury tax. So not going to find a very much impactful player for $4 million. Now, there's some guys out there I like. I've mentioned Mo Bamba. I think we should go ahead and get him, add some size, add some shooting. Definitely something that the Bulls are lacking. But for the most part, if this is it, they're great as a beat. Let me know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the Bulls free agency? As always, thanks a lot.